like I've said over and over, there is a reason why. I don't know it just yet, and I'm seeing it come to fruition, but I know that there was a reason why I felt called to continue doing this show, no matter what was happening to me. Oh, now I'm getting emotional. You're listening to the Wealthy Woman Podcast. Say hi, Truffle. Okay, so we are on set right now, and this is a very impromptu episode, but I've been hearing some feedback that y'all miss solo episodes. So everyone on set was like, just do an episode right now. So what's happening at this moment is there is a guest that has been highly anticipated. And I think that this episode is going to be my breakout episode. But every single time we film it, we filmed it twice, but both times something has happened. The first time, she didn't like the way that she answered some questions. And we kept having issues with the camera. Like something kept happening every time we would film it. So we finally got the camera to work, but like I said, she wanted to refilm it. So that's fine. And we also lost the footage from the kitchen segment. And I was like, that's important because we're trying to do some stuff with that kitchen segment. So then we both agreed we'll refilm it today. We come to set, everything's flowing good. And then in the middle of us filming, and I'll say this, I started feeling the presence of God as we were going. Like the whole vibe was different this time. I was asking different questions. I just felt like God was leading me to take it in a different direction. And so it was flowing. I could see like she was vibing with what I was asking her. And we get to the most important part of the conversation. And she gets a call, and it's an emergency, and she has to go. And we're all just sitting here like, mind you, life is life. So we understand that things happen, but for this to happen at the exact moment that we're filming for the second time, we were all just like, okay, what's going on? What is happening right now? And this is the thing with the show. We are all like, it's not just me doing the show anymore. It's not just me setting up my camera and doing stuff. We have several people helping behind the scenes at this time. And this is becoming bigger than us at this point. And we can see the momentum. We can see people watching the show, like literally not just watching the show, but like watching what we're doing and how we're moving and how we're setting things up. And people are requesting to be on the show at this point. Like not just because I've always had people request to come on, but it's not just like some random person. Like these are people that are well known, of a certain stature, and they're wanting to be on the show now because they see what we're doing and how we're putting things together. And we have become very protective of the energy on the show, the way we're putting things together. We're canceling different interviews and different things because we're like, it don't even align anymore. This is not the direction that God is taking us. And so because of that, this interview was so important to us because we felt like this was the epitome of what we wanted the show to feel like and be like, and the kind of person we wanted on the show and all those things. And so with this happening for the second time, I'm like, wait a minute now. This is not a coinkydink, okay? This is feeling more intentional. And y'all know last year was a spiritual warfare for me, like just on so many levels. I was like, okay, at a certain point, this is getting past me making poor decisions and having to face my poor decisions. Now this is getting to something is trying to hinder me from moving forward. And so what I've seen regardless, and I know for a fact, is one, when I am continuing to be in alignment and be obedient to God, he's going to work out the situation. Like there is no doubt in my mind that he's going to work out this situation. And the guest, she has been so kind, so sweet, very, very much just go with the flow. So I have no doubt in my mind that she's going to come back, or we'll figure it out, right? Like how to salvage the episode. But you can't get back the moment. So I'm like, that was very intentional. I don't know if, and you know what? I'm not even going to sugarcoat myself because y'all know how I talk on the show. For those that are new, because we have a lot of new listeners, just be prepared because I get pretty spiritual. But I know that people, like I said, have been watching what we're doing. And I feel like I'm coming up on some pushback, like some friction spiritually right now. And I'm like, I don't know if they're monitoring spirits. I don't know if the enemy himself is just like trying to fight this moment because he feels what's about to shift for all of us. if this actually works out and goes in the direction that we wanted it to go, it could be anything going on. But I rebuke it, number one. That's number one. But I'm like, because y'all know I'm quick to do a fast. I'm quick to say a prayer. And a lot of times when I start feeling like, because we just prayed a second ago, right before we shot this, I started praying. And as I pray, a lot of times I start listening. I'll try to pray scripture, but then I start listening to see what God is leading me to pray. And so at times when I start feeling like I don't know what to pray at that moment, or he's not leading me in a certain direction, I get this feeling of like, it's already done. It's already done. Like there's no reason to stress right now or to try to like figure out a solution. Cause we started strategizing. At first we were like, let's figure it out. No, because this is beyond us at this point. I don't know. Cause this is the thing. You have to be careful, y'all. You have to be careful about who you speak about. Like when you're doing things, even if you're in motion already. Cause I know a lot of people say, don't talk about your plans, right? Until you get them in motion. But even when you're in motion, you have to be careful, because we are posting behind the scenes all the time. People are seeing what's going on. People are, paying attention. And it's like when people see you getting motion and momentum and stuff, they can have negative thoughts towards you. They can literally be trying to, do witchcraft against you. I don't know what's going on at the moment, right? Like anything could be happening. I've been mingling with a lot of people lately. I've been around a lot of new people. I don't know what's going on at the moment. And there could be some people that have ill intentions or ill feelings towards me, and I have no idea, right? And they could be kikiing in my face and really not be for me or be supporting what I'm doing, but they just want to be around it, right? But even that, when people have negative thoughts towards you mentally, that is still energy. That is negative energy that is being put towards the situation. And so my point in saying all this is, I feel like I'm about to get real protective of this show, number one, but also I'm going to be praying so much harder before episode. Because I think a lot of times when we're getting into this, we've been very analytical. We've been very trying to upgrade everything, right? We've been very much in that headspace. But now I'm realizing I'm like, I also got to be in the spiritual headspace. I need to be praying. I need to be interceding for this show, because like I've said over and over, there is a reason why. I don't know it just yet, and I'm seeing it come to fruition, but I know that there was a reason why I felt called to continue doing this show, no matter what was happening to me. Oh, now I'm getting emotional. But I started this show. I started this show at a time where my life was just plummeting, or I felt like it. Now in hindsight, I know that that's not the case, but at that time, I was spiraling mentally. Like I didn't know what to expect next. I didn't know what to do next, but this show was the one thing I could do, or that I could see myself doing. And I had already bought the equipment before. That's what a lot of people don't realize. This show, back when I always talk about how I had a previous business. When I had that business, I had actually planned to do this show back then, like back in 2021. I was planning on doing this show. I had bought equipment, bought all this stuff, and I was like, I'm going to do this show. And then it never happened. And then the next year, Jasmine was like, no, you need to do the show. You need a co-host. That's when we got Gabby. And then after that, me and Gabby couldn't film together anymore. And it was like obstacle after obstacle at a certain point. But for some reason, I continued to do this show, no matter what the circumstances were, no matter what my environment was like. Even my mental capacity at the time wasn't quite there, but I found a way to keep going. So at that time, when I wasn't mentally well, I said, we won't rely on my brain. I'm going to interview people. And then at a certain point, when I found myself getting better and like I had something to give to y'all, that's when I started doing solo episodes. And then from there, I finally came out of that situation, moved here, and I was like, okay, snap out of it. You're not in struggle mode anymore. We can take things to the next level. That was training. That's what that was. That was just training. That was just practice. So now we're going to actually go play the game, and we're going to show people what we're capable of. And so God has been sending me people that actually believe in the vision. And that's how I always know it's from God, because when it's something I want to do, people don't rally behind it like that. But when it's something that he wants and he's ordained, people always see the vision because it's not centered around me. It's centered around something that he has already put into the atmosphere. It's already done. That's the thing. Like, when it's something God has called you to do or ordained, I can't even talk anymore. When he's ordained it, you don't even have to like worry about how it's going to happen, because it's just going to happen. He's going to send the right things, all of the resources, the tools, all the things that you need. It may not happen in the timing that you're looking for it to happen, but it's going to happen. It's going to come to pass because he's called it forth. He has spoken it into this world. And I know that he's always had his hand on it, because every time I've tried to do what I wanted to do with Wealthy Woman, it would never work. But the moment I just surrendered and I said, okay, God, whatever you want to do, I'm going to do it. So even in this moment, I'm like, okay, it's not a thing for us to figure out. We know that this episode was important. And it was like we were all battling different feelings as it was happening, because in real time, this was a person that we've grown to like the person that we were interviewing, because now we've spent multiple hours with her and we're getting to know her, we're liking her, and we're vibing. And so it's like we genuinely care about her and what's going on with her in her life. And so we're like, no, like, get out of here, go handle whatever you need to handle. But at the same time, we're like, dang, like, did our moment just pass? And now looking back over everything, I'm like, no, the moment didn't pass. It didn't pass. There's no way that it passed, because if God got us in the door for whatever, because that's the thing, I have no doubt in my mind that people probably ask her to do all kinds of things all the time, interviews, appearances, whatever. And I'm sure she turns down a good portion of it because she's at that point in her career. But for whatever reason, this girl don't know me from nothing. Like she has no idea who I was before I reached out. And for whatever reason, she resonated with it and she decided to come on the show. And she has been a joy to be around and a joy to work with, and one of my favorite guests so far. But I'm like, no, this is not the end. This is, honestly, I feel like this is the beginning, and that's why the enemy is fighting it. Like, he is doing everything he can to fight it. But we're not going to let that stop us. But if you're listening to this and you are trying at the moment to make something happen, or you're trying to do something that God has asked you to do, and you start feeling like you're battling something that's beyond you, just know that if God said that he wants you to do it, or he said it's going to happen, it's not the time to fight. It's the time to pray. Pray. Your prayers that's the way that you fight things that are beyond you. You send out a prayer, and then the Lord and his angels and everything else that is in the heavens will fight on your behalf. And that is your way of fighting the things that you cannot see that are coming against you. But also, it's not even really our job to fight like that. Like, that's the thing. You have to remember that you are a child of God. You have authority over all of that. Anything that is meant to come against you, any demonic force, whatever, any bad vibes, you have authority over all of that. Okay. So don't even let that faze you. Just understand that if it's not happening in this moment, God is setting up something beyond what you could ever imagine, beyond what you could ever think up in your brain. And don't get discouraged by any obstacles, because God is going to use all of it for your good. That's the thing. I love moments like this sometimes, because that's the moment for God to show out. Because it's when the moment is getting worse and worse and worse, it's like the miracle is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Like, he has to show out now. There's no way he can't show out, like it can't just end like this. So I'm just like we said, I'm just going to use this moment to amplify him. And that's what it is. I don't really have much else to say. I don't know how much time I don't know how much time this has ran, but 15 minutes. Okay, well, it's a short episode, but I hope y'all enjoyed this. They just wanted me to hop on here and be authentic in the moment. So yeah, we're going to be good. And I can't wait for y'all to see the episode, because it's coming. It's coming.